What's up, everybody? My name's Travis, also known as TI Trading Wiz. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 big mistakes I see new traders making all the time when it comes to trading. Now, this is going to apply if you're a new trader or intermediate trader. These are still like the top 3 biggest mistakes. And we're going to go over why it's so important to stop doing them, how to stop doing them, why QuantVue is a great system that basically makes it so the first one, you're never going to do again. I hope if you're doing it again, then you're using our system incorrectly. You should not be making the first thing that we go over mistake more than once, because we want to see you get to the point where you're having weeks like I have, where I have $5,000 on this account, $8,000 on this account. I have a couple other accounts that I did, $3,000, $5,000. I have some of these accounts linked to other accounts, so they're taking the same exact trades. We want to see our traders get to the point where they're doing 5 figures a month or even 5 figures a week. Let's go ahead and jump into the first mistake people make. The number 1 mistake I see new traders making is holding a trade when it's moving against them way longer than they should. For example, you should not be holding a short here, right after a bull signal, right? If you take a bear signal, don't hold it through a bull. Just get out. And if you have to, re-enter. But don't hold it past this. Too many times I see new traders that just believe that it's going to continue going up, and they'll hold, and they'll hold, and they'll hold. And sometimes it can play for your favor or play into your favor, right? But for example, if you thought that this was going to come back short because it kind of double topped a little bit in a way, and you took this bear signal and then you held through this bull, you would get your face ripped off. So don't get your face ripped off. Get out. Do not hold signals when it's against you, period. Just don't do it. It's a big no-no. Don't do it. It matters, and it's especially important in futures. Keep your losers small, keep your winners big. The second mistake people make is do not FOMO. Do not have the fear of missing out. The perfect example of this was earlier this week. I had a level marked on my chart. I even shared it in the Discord. It was this trade right here. I wanted to take this trade. I was waiting for it to hit this zone all day long. I had to step away from my computer, had to use the bathroom, and literally missed this trade. And I was so bummed. I came back to my computer. We're already right here. And yes, I could have taken this trade. I could have FOMO'd into it later. Instead, I sat on my hands. Why? Because I didn't know where we were going to pivot. I didn't know if we were going to have a little bit of struggle right here. I didn't know if we were going to have struggle here. I just didn't know. It's okay. Also, entering into a trade late, if your stop loss is this previous swing low, it's going to skew the risk to reward, not in your favor. Just don't FOMO into a trade if you missed the entry. If I would have taken it, yes, this one would have played in my favor, but that does not typically happen. So just don't take a trade late. It's okay. It's okay to miss a trade. Later on in that day, right, I did catch this short. In fact, I took 5 contracts on one account early on the short, catching it right here. And then I was able to take 15 more contracts here and was able to get out in this little consolidation. It was a nice $8,000 profit. Number 3 is know when to take your profits. Taking your profits is extremely important. And this is another perfect example of knowing when to take your profits. Okay. So this is what some people don't talk about, is that the way that I trade evaluation accounts and PA accounts that are just recently funded that are still in the trailing drawdown phase, right? I trade those different than a PA account or my personal accounts that have a little bit more padding. This is important to note. And the reason why is because I can afford to have a trade come against me a little bit and stay in that trade. When you have a trailing drawdown, you don't really have that luxury. So once we started consolidating in this zone here, I would just took my profits and got out of the trade. I don't need it. I don't need to stay in the trade, right? Take your profits early, especially when you're in a evaluation or a PA account that has a trailing drawdown. Now you can let a runner run, right? Letting a runner run is okay, right? And I say you should let a runner run, but keep your stops on that runner tight, right? If I'm in a contract, right, say on NQ, I'm not trying to have a runner come back on me $500, especially during like the eval phase. $200, $300 is kind of like the max I want it to come against me. That's really the max. Like I'm comfortable with having that happen per contract. But any more than that, it's just like, it's unnecessary. You know, yes, I sold the contracts early and it again went in my favor. Again, this does not always happen. You're much better off just taking off your contracts early, especially during evaluation phases. I cannot stress that enough. Once you have padding and you want to hold through and you want to say make your stop, you know, above the bands or right above this middle band, which is what I actually really like, is to make it kind of that middle band right above that middle band, right? As we start opening up like this, you have to be kind of careful, because once you have the bands open up, it's like always just depends on what you want. Now, this is where I like to use the ribbon, and why I have the ribbon turned on, right? Is once I see this ribbon flip and it's yellow and this was a previous level right here, right? That correlates with that. This tells me that there's a high probability that that might continue trading this way. I don't have to wait for this bull signal to get out of this trade. I want to get out of that trade on that ribbon flip. Anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel, and there will be a link down in the description to Apex and where you can get QuantVue, and hopefully we'll see you guys joining the 5-figure club.